Welcome to Devlog I. My name's Kenderthal, and welcome to the start of my journey learning game development. I'm going to start by saying that these devlogs aren't going to be about a specific game that I work on, but more a series of games as I develop my game dev skills. My current plan is to do a game jam each month, and at the end of the jam, I want to take all of the feedback and finish the game into a solid project. However, since I'm starting this series late and I already did my first game jam 2 weeks ago, I might wait until the following month to do my next. But I might also love the next theme and throw that plan right out the window. So, a little about me before we dive in. I do have experience in programming that I got from a coding bootcamp I did earlier this year. Was it the best bootcamp? No. Would I recommend it to anybody? No. Did I learn a lot during this time? Yes. I had to do a lot of troubleshooting, and I learned a lot about reading documentation and figuring things out. So I do bring that to game dev. Besides programming, my game dev skills are seriously subpar. I'm definitely not an artist or a musician. The most I ever did was play trumpet. I'm actually a veteran turned dog trainer who found a love for making games. So with enough caffeine, we will just have to embrace the suck as I improve on all my game dev skills. Now, let's talk about my first game jam that I did 2 weeks ago, the Godot Wild Jam 69, with the theme of Void. I decided to make a space mining game with a hint of random kamikaze pirates. The goal of the game was to mine asteroids and bring the material back to your station to make repairs while getting paid to do so. It was just absolutely chock full of compelling story. We'll leave it at that. Besides mining and fighting off the mindless pirates, I did add a lot of cool features in a short amount of time. I added an upgrade shop to increase your damage, your mining laser, cargo capacity, and fire rate. I also added some small quality of life features for the player, an indicator to keep you from being lost in the empty void of space, how to tie that in, some damage indication on your ship and the enemy ships that look like fire coming off it when they took enough damage. I added impact explosions for lasers because lasers explode and everything. Fuel system and a bunch of other small things that you won't really see at this point in the current version of the game. I did end up scoring 68 out of 188 entries in overall, which isn't too bad when your game is held together with hope and duct tape. At the end of the day, I was just happy to finish my first game, which wasn't a tutorial, and hoped for a few nice comments at the end of the day. Turns out most people really enjoy the game, and I got a lot of great feedback. This boosted my confidence like crazy. I made my idea into a game that people could play, and they enjoyed it. The biggest criticism I got was about having to wait for your cash after unloading the cargo at the station. Some players thought they had to stay as the money was ticking up, but the silly players didn't realize that you could leave and the money would still tick up. In all seriousness, I did fail there as a game dev, but I've learned from this that I need to be a little bit more clear or have a tutorial for my players in those kind of situations. I did know that was an issue beforehand by some friends who had playtested, but I had it stuck in my head that I wanted them to wait for the money as the ore was being processed, and I was going to add like a smelter outside the station and all this, and scope creep, and Other than that, though, it needed some music and some better AI to bring it home. After playing other people's games, I did make a laundry list of polish items I want to add. A proper menu is a huge one that I definitely want to add, especially with some audio controls, key mapping, and I definitely want a more flushed out tutorial than a image I have right now. And then menu clicks. I went to a couple games and I just felt it was very crunchy to be able to just click and hear that little click when you chose the menu option. Now with all this great feedback, I'm going to be spending my time working on Void Miner until the next game jam, or if the next one's earlier, If you have any thoughts on how I can improve Void Miner, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you feel like playing, you can find the link in the description. Until then, thanks for watching.